everyone, my name is Rishik Bhardwaj and today I am going to present on the topic Draupadi, Law, Power and Marginalized by Mahashweta Devi. This story highlights the oppression faced by the tribal community in India. It shows how law and state power, which are meant to protect people, are sometimes misused against weaker sections of society. The main character, Draupadi represents courage, resistance. This story, Draupadi, highlights the struggle faced by the tribal community in India. It shows that sometimes law and state power are not used to protect people but instead to control and oppress them. The main character, Draupadi, represents resistance against injustice. Throughout this story, we can understand issues like inequality, gender discrimination, and violation of human rights. Concept of law and power. Law is meant to ensure injustice and protection of citizens. But in reality, law is not always used in right way. Sometimes people in power misuse it for its own benefit. Authorities like police and military may use force and fear to control weak section of society. This story makes us think about an important question. Does law always give justice, or can it also become a tool to oppression? Marginalization in story. In this story, tribal communities shows as poor, ignorant and oppressed. They are often treated as criminals or rebels by the authorities. Their voice are not heard in legal or political system, which makes their struggle worse or situation worse. This shows how marginalized people struggle continuously against injustice and exploitation. The characteristics of Draupadi Majan. Draupadi Majan is the central character of the story Draupadi, written by Mahashweta Devi. She belongs to a tribal community and represents those people who are oppressed and ignored by the society and the state. Draupadi is not shown as a weak or helpless woman. Instead, she is strong, brave, and determined. She actively resists the authority and refuses to accept injustice. Even when she is captured by the state, she does not lose her courage. She does not beg for mercy or surrender her dignity. Her character is very important because it breaks the stereotype that marginalized women are always powerless. Instead, Draupadi shows that even in the worst situation, a person can stay strong. One of the most powerful aspects of her characteristics is her resistance. She does not fight with weapons, but her courage and attitude. She challenges authority simply by refusing to obey and feel defeated. Draupadi is also represents dignity and self-respect. Even after facing humility, she does not allow the system to break her spirit. This makes her as a symbol of inner strength. Her character also highlights gender issues because she faces oppression not only as a tribal person but also as a woman. It shows how marginalized women suffer double discrimination. In the end, Draupadi became a symbol of rebel against injustice. She focused on to the question that the system thinks about whether the law is really protecting people like her. Abuse of powers of the state. The story clearly shows that state power is misused by military and police. Instead of protecting people, they treat tribal communities as enemies. The legal system fails to protect their rights. This creates a gap between what law should be and what law actually in reality happened. So the story shows that law in practice can be very different from law in theory. Message of the story. The story gives a strong message against injustice and misuse of power. It highlights the importance of human rights, equality, and dignity for everyone. Literally, Draupadi helps us understands literature like Draupadi helps us understand social and legal problems in society. It encourages us to question authorities and stand against injustice. The story reminds us that justice can only be achieved while law is applied fairly and equally to everyone. Therefore, it encourages us to question misuse of power, stand for human rights, and work towards a more just and equal society. Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation. Hope you understand the relationship between law, power, and the marginalized community in India.